Hello! I've just come back from watching Sausage Party, the new animated film with Daniela, and I don't know. I've got a lot of opinions on it, and I'm going to go through some of them. I just scribbled some down because I thought, why not? And I'm going to do this quick little video just chatting to you about it. There might be spoilers, there might not be spoilers. I think I've written down like one spoiler, but it's not major to the plot line. It's not really important detail, and a really important scene that I'm going to talk about. It's not really, really important. So, I don't know, if you really don't like any sort of or form of spoiler, don't watch this. But let's get into this. So, Sausage Party in the UK is a 15. Don't know what it is everywhere else. The main point is I don't know why it's called Sausage Party. The main character is a sausage, but where did the party bit come from? It's anything but partying. So there's just that. There is way, way, way too much sex for anyone who's asexual like me, or anyone who is over 15. I think it should have probably been an 18. It's quite explicit too. But of course, it was food. It wasn't people, so maybe they got away with it. I don't know. So don't watch it with your parents, because you will really, you'll regret it. Or if you're easily offended, don't watch it either, because there are some stereotypical people. It's not racist, it's just stereotyping. So if you're a bit about that, then don't do that. There you go. And also don't watch with your parents because it will be very, very awkward. I went to see it with Daniela, like I said, my friend from college, and we were both like, oh my god. We almost went to see it with one of my friends who is a guy, and that would have been way more awkward, I think. Even though we were good friends, but hey. They tried to be Deadpool too much. There was one scene, this is a sort of spoiler, I suppose, where they tried to break the fourth wall, and they did it by acknowledging who the voice actors were, really obviously, for they didn't like put in a reference to someone's film that like Seth Rogen's been in, who was the voice of the main character Frank. Um, but there were things saying this is. They said there was another dimension, which was our dimension, with the people who were watching the film, and it said how there's people watching, and the main guy was voiced by someone called Seth Rogen, and it was like this guy who predicted the future and could see things in like a fire, you know how they do. And also they talked about another character's voice actor, can't remember which one, whatever. So there's that. They tried to break the fourth wall, but they only did it once, so it wasn't really like worth it. I don't know. Some of the pacing was way too fast. Lots of the scenes were really forgettable, mostly because they were just there and gone, brushed past. There's a lot of toing and throwing, lots of going between different aisles of food, but only for a split second and then coming back to them later. And it was a little bit all over the place, which took away a little bit from the storyline. You're like, what's happening? But it wasn't too obvious and too bad. So there's that. There's not a lot of variety of locations. It's in a supermarket, but sometimes you go to the outside world of the people's homes who are eating the food, and there was one outside scene as well. But I feel like I don't know how they do it any other way, but I don't know. There could have been more variety of areas. There's one sausage who gets out. This is a spoiler. Who gets out of the supermarket and tries to come back in, so maybe he could have gone to the wrong supermarket. I thought they were going that way at one point, but they didn't. But then again, it was still a supermarket, so I don't know, that's just a little nitpicky point. What else have I got? The voice acting on the whole was pretty good, and I liked the animation style. Seth Rogen definitely fits, I was going to say with the sausage, but with like a comedic character that you wouldn't really expect. I don't know, that's pretty much what he plays, I'm pretty sure, in a lot of things. But the voice acting was good. It fit each of the characters. Some were a little bit annoying, but they were only a small character that was in the background. And for some reason, all the fruit in it seemed to be gay. I don't know. I don't know if that's just me stereotyping, because there wasn't anything that suggested they were all gay, but I think they were looking at how stereotypically they were doing other people, and other races and cultures. That might have been what they were going for. I don't know, but there was a lot of that. I laughed a few times, which is good because I don't have a soul. It's my sort of humour, which is why I went to see it. Because I like suffering of other people, not the sexual bit. Um, that's why I went to see it. But I laughed a couple of times, which is always a good sign, I suppose. It's at least I didn't not laugh. That would have been awkward. So I mean, there was another thing. Don't watch it with your parents, or if you're asexual, or if you're a bit offended, or you don't really like grotesque things, because there was an orgy scene at the end, and it was really graphic and went on way too long, and it was even too much for Daniela, and she's completely open and fine about that stuff, which I hate about her sometimes, because she's a bit too open and she forgets she's talking to me. But she doesn't mind sexual content, but even she was in her chair, she was like, oh, I don't like this. So, it went on, yeah, it went on for way too long, but it had a lot of variety of um, types of sex. They covered LGBT, they were gay, like I said, and there was lesbian, and there was everything in between. But I don't know if they quite did it respectfully towards people who are in the LGBT community. I mean, they didn't not do it offensive. They didn't do it offensively. They didn't do it non-offensively, because it was sort of there and then it was gone. They brushed past it a bit, which is fine. It wasn't about the two main characters weren't gay, so well, one, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Anyway, I suppose that's a good thing. There you go. The movie was the right length. It's about 1.5 hours long. I think if it went longer, it would have just been repetitive, even though it did get a little bit repetitive in the middle and towards the end. But if it was much shorter, then I think I would have been disappointed, because unless it's a kids' film, anything shorter than that's a bit like not worth my money, because it was £8 for a ticket to go. Maybe there were too many characters. Like I said, it brushed past a lot of different characters, but then there's a lot of different aisles. But then, if there's so many types of food, why go through them all when we got the idea? Especially if you're not going to linger on those characters enough. But it's not one of those really character development films, apart from the main 3 or 4 characters. There you go. And that's pretty much it. That's all I can think of. So, to recap, I wouldn't recommend it if you're easily offended, or you don't like crude things, or rude things, or stereotypes. If you're Tumblr, don't watch it. If that's not your humour, maybe don't watch it. If you're asexual, don't watch it. If you, I don't know, just don't watch it with your parents. If you're over 50, it'll probably kill you. I don't know. You'll probably be so shocked that you'll just have a heart attack. I don't know. But there you go. Sausage Party. Check it out if it seemed like your sort of thing. And there were some good points. There were a lot of bad points. But that's probably just because, in my opinion, and me as a person, I'm not too mad about the sexual stuff. And I knew there were going to be sexual references in it. Also, there's strong language. Just mention it. A lot of strong language. Lots of C words. C-U-N-Ts. But yeah, too much sex. I didn't think there would be that much sex, basically, and it was very, very uncomfortable, even though it's not humans. You knew what everything was supposed to represent. There's a lot of food with holes in them, and a lot of food that are long lengthways, that's all I'm saying. And you come out as a changed person. So, I mean, that's my review. Leave any comments down below if you've watched the film and your thoughts on it, and any thoughts, just put them in the comments. And if you liked it, push all the buttons, you know what to do, and I'll see you later. Bye. Also, sorry this is on my phone and it won't have my intro and outro, because I can't upload good quality stuff because internet's too slow, but this is a small file because it's on my phone. Anyway, bye.